Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome to this video. In this video we're reading more from the Dao De Jing, okay? Dao De Jing by Lao Tzu, my favourite book of all time. I'm not religious. It's about the philosophy of life through studying true reality in the physical world. So I'm just reading a random passage for you tonight. I just picked out one. I've actually chosen which one I'm going to read, but it's a chapter here 50 or insert 58. Good life under a non-interventionist good life under a non-interventionist government. Okay, good life under a non-interventionist government. Let's read what the hell that's all about. Here that's all about, you know what I'm saying? Put my camera up there so you can just listen for a second, you know what I'm saying? When the government, this is what Lao Tzu wrote, okay, in his book. Okay, it's chapter 58, yep. It says, when the government appears dull and boring, the people enjoy a good and rich life. When the government appears clever and innovative, was that clever? Clever, that's a C, clever, and innovative. I was trying to work out what word that was. It says clever because it's C. I'm a bit tired tonight, my eyes are tired. So it says, okay, let's read it again, okay. When the government appears dull and boring, the people enjoy a good and rich life. When the government appears clever and innovative, the people suffer a shortage. The word is appear. Do they mean by literally seems to be? Does he mean by what seems to be? Or does he mean is that what literally is? If it just appears a certain way. Okay, so it's the people doing what they're doing. Okay, let's just have a check. What appears to be misfortune, okay, here we go, may pave the way for fortune? Or is he trying to say that what starts out as misfortune might be the beginning, like it starts out to be fortune? And it brings or one side brings the opposite, because that's true in the Tao, obviously, in Yin and Yang. Right? Who knows the absolute? The right that we know is often not right. What is right may prove to be wrong. What is good may prove to be bad. Mankind has been lost in the maze since the old days. The sage has an open mind and is unpretentious. He is incorruptible and will not succumb to bribery. He is straight but is not arrogant. He shines but not dazzles. Quite a few things to look at there and then unpack those few things. A lot of things to unpack, a lot of things to see, a lot of things to look into more, unpack. But what I want to say is an interesting thing there. So what may be one way, may be the path that's bringing us to the opposite, right? So if you're, a difficult road may bring us to easiness, an easy road may bring us to difficulty, etc., etc., right? Failure being the mother of success, etc. Starting out poor, you can become rich, or starting out rich, you might become poor. On all that stuff, yeah. But so when one side is often the other side, so the richness is poorness in essence, you see, and the poorness is richness, you could say, you know what I mean? But it's like at the same time, because it's on the journey to that destination, it's a journey of negativity, of challenges. Let's put it as challenges that brings you to the victory. I don't know, the end destination where you're the winner. You could say that road of constant failure. If you say failure is the journey, and success is the destination where you go, where you end up, the result. In anything you say or do, let's say, and vice versa. It could be like success being the constant success all the way, and you could be just going to, if you're moving on from that, trying to go on, you're basically running away from success. So you're running away from your life. You're always going to end up in a place which is not success, so, unless you stay on it. That is really to say, keep moving. When you come to the end, it is literally a stop. But if the journey is a stop already, then it's never going to start. See. So, okay, we say all this, right? So it's like, if the journey is leading us to a certain result, then that result defines what the journey is. It's crazy, right? The journey may define the destination, and the destination may define the result. It's really crazy. It really, really is. It's crazy. But again, it's an idea. Positivity, negativity, it could just be an idea. What really is happening, or what really is what really is. And I would say sometimes either of those two sides could be empty, hollow, shallow, and it's a matter of thought. It's how you perceive things, But and another thing, perception can distract you so much, and you may miss the fact that you are living a physical good life here in the physical real realm, But because you're living in a negative mind state, the same way as someone who somehow is in bliss and happiness when he's on cocaine and drugs or whatever it might be, or doing whatever that's bad for his body, where he's actually brung himself or herself down in health state. How can a person be living simultaneously, mind or body, either side, both ways, with death and life? Do we live with constant death? I'd say the death is always the absence. Is this the thing which is absent, or it's not present in our lives, So the absence is present, just as you would say, absence. It goes back to some of the stuff I used to write in my old little book I put. It was like, absence is not present, basically, and presence is not absent. That makes a lot of sense, right? The absence is always present. Yeah, meaning absence is always here if present is here. Well, it may go for the same thing. Yin and yang are always both here. You can't have one without the other. And present is never here when absence is here. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. You could say presence is here when absence is here. Yeah, presence and absence are always and never here when the other one's here. And they are always and never here when the other one is not here. Wow, that's deep shit. So there's fuck. So the Tao, no matter what, the Tao of Yin and Yang is always here. It's like let's say the Tao didn't exist, right? You can't imagine that. In the if the Tao represents everything we have, right? Well, if there was the opposite of that, like nothing, in the realm of nothing, there would also be two sides to it. But the main thing is, nothing can only exist if something exists, and something can only exist if nothing exists. So that means by default, infinitely, there's an infinite existence of everything and nothing, and it's basically infinite Tao. That's basically what it is. You cannot escape it. The moment you run off to another side, somewhere outside of the truth, and that's a fact, that you really run off to a world that doesn't exist, to a realm, and you become part of the non-existent world, and you just disappear from the universe. Deep shit, right? To another realm. Well, if that place is a true fact, if you're trying to make any statement that's true, any place that's true, there's an opposite side to that. Because if you say that this world is here now, and there's another world which really doesn't exist, well, guess what? You see? That just shows you it's a fact that it doesn't exist. All facts are truth, meaning truth is infinite. Now the opposite, a total opposite, because everything has a total opposite. It's the absence of it, wherever it is. So total truth, now total non-truth, what do you think that is? It's totally like, it's not infinite, it's like never. It's like limited, it's unlimited, it's unlimitedly limited. The same way as unlimitedness is limitedly unlimited and unlimitedly limited. Fucking hell. Never is a kind of forever. Yeah, rich and poor exist at the same time, front and back, etc., etc. So it's a real deep one. Now, the thing is, you look at the government or the people being, played off, the people under the government. It's not about that. It's not about what's going on in society or what we're doing even. That can never be if it is not one with the one. Meaning if it's a part two, if it's a second step, like you've got the true nature and then you've got us playing around in the society, doing all these funny games. That's not, if it's not actually part of the one. Not just separate. Second, if you don't live in the way of the earth how it is, you're not going to live. There's nothing more. There's nothing to it. Everything that's fake that doesn't exist. And when it does exist, it truly exists as nothing. Nothing truly exists. And in this, what is that state of it? Nothing truly is nothing. That's what it is. So the opposite of that are the things that are here, the things you can work with. But, when something goes beyond being something, it becomes nothing. And if you look at it, that's the opposite to everything. You can only have something or not. So anything that's in the existence realm, the only other place it can go to is the non-existence realm. Yeah? And something that doesn't exist, I don't know, but it's like just as limited as and unlimited as something that exists. Everything, the existence of all phenomena of the universe, possibly the infinite universe, is limited by its totality. It's limited by its unlimitedness, as I say. It's limited to this is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Even if it's infinite. And you could say the same thing about nothing, right? It's limited by what it is, and it's also unlimited by what it is. And it has, the opposites, and it's also, I wouldn't say a slave, but it's like, it is in a kind of way, it only exists because of the other side. So this is what it means, the deepest state of understanding. There are two sides to everything. Now, when you can flow with different things in life and work things a certain way, language, respect, understanding the human body, and then work rules out in things in society, that you can work in a structural way, that everybody's living in a healthy way in the mind and body, then we can work towards having a better, way of living. And what we want to really do is have not a rough way of living, not giving ourselves so much hardship. That's what you want to do. Give ourselves respect in the physical. That's what you want to make sure you do. Because, otherwise, there's no chance for you. Respect and value, okay, in the world, of truth, basically the world of truth. You can only survive, you can only do well in a world that exists, a world of truth. If it's not truth, you can't do anything with it. And if you're not true, it can't do anything with you. See? There you go. It's like having a door. You've got a key, but there's no keyhole. Or there's a keyhole, but there's no key. That's no good. Yeah? Or there's no door, Or there's no place behind the door, see? Everything is related. You've got air, but you don't have lungs. Or you've got lungs, but you don't have air. So everything in the reality is what we have to study. It's not just some philosophy in a book like this, what you might be thinking. That's the difference with this kind of philosophy. It's not just a religious thing or some spiritual guy's meditating and he wakes up and tells you this stuff. No, it's just about actual facts. So this is why I've always been interested in this stuff, Thanks for watching. Peace. I'm going to stop this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. More to come, basically, in this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, man? How am I going to start the video, though? Okay, here we go.